What's up, everyone? Coach Tony here. In this training, we're going to talk about dual enrollment 101. So if it's your very first time learning about this concept, you're in the right spot. We're going to teach you all things about dual enrollment. What is it? How to do, and I'll give you guys almost a step-by-step. If you're watching this live, which right now we're going live in the month of March 2025. This is very time sensitive for the month of April. So talk about that in a little bit. So if you're joining us either live via Zoom, live via Facebook, or if you're watching us from the future, somewhere on our social media platforms, welcome. My name is Coach Tony. I'm actually a former UC Berkeley admissions reader. And then doing so, I read a bunch of applications recommended yes or no to students. And doing so, you start to learn some tricks. You like to see some trends that the most successful students have in common on their application. So what we do is we kind of help you guys understand that. So from a parent's point of view, if you're watching this, you're able to learn kind of what readers are trained to look for. You guys can help your own child out with this admissions process, right? So our training is about dual enrollment. If you're joining us live, go ahead and drop your grade in the chat, whether it's Zoom, Facebook, YouTube comments down below, so we know kind of where you guys are at. If you have any questions, this is more for the Zoom folks who are here, maybe Facebook as well too. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. I'll go ahead and do a Q&A session at the very end. And then if you guys are interested in the replay or the notes, again, give us 48 hours. Our team needs to render it, fix it, make me look a little prettier, and they'll drop it to you guys. So if you guys are interested, go ahead, just text our team, 949-775-0865. Just text the word replay or notes if you want these notes, if you want the replay. If you're interested, for all of our new friends, we do offer a free 15-minute coaching call, just kind of set you guys to the right direction. Is all. So every new member of us gets a new call. We had I think 1,000 new people join our community this past week. So welcome everyone who is new. So every week we do a bunch of free trainings for you guys to help you guys out with this admission process. So text the word coach me if you haven't redeemed your free 15-minute call yet. And if you are a 2026 family, we're pulling together a package. So it won't be live yet today, but our team is putting together a special free goodie package for our 2026 families who are about to start the application soon. So if you guys are interested, just text the word 2026 in the chat, in the text, and they'll go ahead and send you that. Probably not today again, probably like later this week. You'll be on the lookout for that as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and dive straight into the training for here today. Again, those who know me, I love just like live talking and teaching you guys this information. So first off, what is dual enrollment? What is dual enrollment, right? Simply, it's the idea that as a high school student, right, you're able to take college classes at the same time, right? It's kind of what the idea of dual enrollment is. So you're able to take college classes specifically, right? So specifically, we do community college courses as well too. Doesn't matter what state you're from. If you're from California, they do this. If you guys are in Washington, they do this. Texas, they do this. New Jersey, they do this. Every single state does this, allows this as well too, right? So this is what you're really doing. Now, first off, why? Right? Why do we want to do this? Right? So I have two answers for you. One is from a theoretical level, and the other answer is on a more theory practical level, right? Practical level as well too. And in a bit, we'll talk about exactly how to do this, what classes to take. So first off, from a theoretical high level point of view, right? So how does college admissions work, right? There's three components of the admissions process itself. There's going to be the academics, the activities, and the application itself. These are the three core features, the three core things that as a student you want to make sure you have, or if you're a parent, make sure your child has in this process there, right? From here, right, what you want to do is we want to go ahead and we're going to focus on the academics, right? Oh, looks like I am muted. Can everybody see me, hear me real fast? Can everybody see me, hear me okay? Looks like we are muted. Let's see if I can fix that really quick. For those who cannot hear me, hello. Can everybody hear me? People can hear me here. Looks like Facebook may not be able to hear me. Looks like Zoom can hear me though. All right, I'm gonna keep going. Let me know if you can continue to hear me. Click the button. Hopefully that helped a little bit. Let me try to check here really quick. Um, Awesome. So that's that. All right, cool. So going back, right? So the academics is what we're going to focus on specifically today, right? So under this area, from the three, though, academics is probably the least important factor of the three. Does that mean it's not important? No, right? It's the least important, right? Meaning, right, we want to spend as little time as we can is the goal, right? In this area, so we can spend more time on the other areas. This is why you hear people talk a bunch about GPAs and grades and classes, right? They're focusing too much on the area that doesn't play the biggest role in this process. So I think that's the big thing, right? So my goal from the high level, from a high level strategy, right? Our goal, number one, is we want to minimize time in the academic section, right? Number one. Number two, right? Number two is that you hear a lot about AP classes. You hear about honors classes. Some of you guys also have like IB classes. A lot of our families from like various international baccalaureate schools, right? These types of classes there. It looks like our audio is back. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Facebook, for letting me know, right? So that's that. And then these are the things, right? What does this show? This shows rigor, right? Shows rigor in your schedule. Colleges do like rigor. Colleges also, right? They like rigor and grade trends. These are the two big things that you want to demonstrate in your application itself. You want to show the rigor there, and you want to show the grade trends of your class of your classes over the few years as well. So now you're like, Coach Tony, wait. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense because if you told me I want to minimize time, and I want to have strong grades, right? Plus, I want to show rigor, like I want to take the AP classes, IB classes. That doesn't make sense, right? From a very like comparative point of view, that doesn't make sense between all three of those. So what do we do? How do, right, we make this happen? So that's kind of where I would interject dual enrollment. This is where dual enrollment comes in, right? So what dual enrollment is as a high school student, right? You can take college level courses at a local community college, right? So benefits, right? What are the benefits? Number one, college units and high school credits, right, are not equal, meaning one college unit is equal to 3.3 high school credits, right? If you guys ever look at your transcript or look at your report cards and stuff, you'll notice that typically, right, a high school class is 10 credits. Right. If you notice, for fall semester, it's 5 credits, spring semester is 5 credits. So in total, it's 10 credits. If you noticed, right? A lot of college classes, right, are 3 to 4 units, right? As well, just do some simple math here, right? So if a class is 3 units, you multiply by a 3.3 conversion, that's about 9.9 or 10 high school credits. Ooh, what does that mean? That means one college class is equivalent to 1 year-long high school class itself. So one semester of college is equivalent to a full year AP, full year IB. That's the first kind of conversion right away, right? What's the second benefit, right? The second benefit is going to be the rigor of the class. As a reader, when we saw classes being classified, AP, IB, college level, and sometimes honors, right? I'm gonna put sometimes, right? Sometimes honors is its own kind of category. So when I looked at classes, I was like, wait, this is an honors that has a little star next to it. It has a little honors approved class. It's a rigorous course load, right? And really quick little tangent, put a little box here so you guys know. There's a little tangent, insert a little table here. Oh, tangent, right? Tangent real fast is that why is it sometimes honors, right? Sometimes is because not every honors class counts as an approved honors course at the college level. right? So when a lot we're working a lot of our families, we tell them, hey, just ignore the honors. If it counts, that's great, right? If it counts, extra points for us, right? But if it doesn't count, let's not count it because I don't want to do false hope that we're like, oh wow, we have so many honors credits, and you can find out half of it doesn't even transfer over. So we don't want to focus on that. We're going to focus right on ensuring that every class will get you the honors level rigor, right? So that's gonna be the biggest thing right over here. So same rigor, but this one is half the time, half the work, right? So instead, and right, the rigor of the class, let me also add in college credit, right? Because that's kind of the reason why, right? We do a lot of the AP courses and the I actually let's make it its own subcategory. It's a little different as well too. Number three is the college credit because technically honors isn't that, right? So APs and IBs, right? You guys take it an AP class for 1 year, you take an IB class for 2 years, and at the end you take the AP exam or the IB exam, right? For the AP exam is out of 5 points, right? 3 is passing, but right, really quick in the chat, question in the chat, does getting a 3 guarantee you college credits, right? 3 is passing, right? Really fast in the chat, go ahead and drop a yes or a no. Really quick, is passing, right? Is considered passing. Really pop quiz, just interactions. So you guys are not just listening to my beautiful voice, right? Really quick. Thus getting a 3, which is passing, for the record, it is passing. Thus getting a 3 guarantee you college credits. Right, I see a few yeses, I see a few nos. Right, so we're torn. We're torn about the yeses and the nos. Right, so the answer is no. Right, that does not guarantee the college credits. How you want to check this out is every single school is different. So you want to look up on Google, Google up college, right? AP articulation, right? When you look that up, so like UCLA or AP articulation, Harvard AP articulation, all these kind of schools, right? Plug it in. They will tell you, hey, at your school, or like if you take this AP exam, you need this score to get this credit. Sometimes 3 were like, cool, we'll give you the credit for the class, but you don't get credit for this specific class that you need. Meaning, by the time you get to that school, you have to take it again, right? So that's kind of the whole purpose of us passing the exams to get us exempt of the class. But if you don't get a high enough passing score, because some schools, you'll see, some schools require a 4, some schools even a 5, right? Even a 5, right? As well, too. And for the IB exams, for those who are in IB, this is out of 7 points, right? 5 is passing. Same thing is considered passing, right? Same thing, right? Some schools, though, right, require a 6, even a 7 to actually get the classes to transfer into the college itself. So keeping that in mind. However, right? If we take an approved college level course, right? As long as you pass the class with an A, B, or C, you are guaranteed the college credits, right? Boom. You don't need to take the AP exam. You don't need to pass the IB exam. You don't need to stress out about the exam. You're just going to pass the class. Once you pass the class, you're guaranteed the units that comes with it as well. So that's the big thing here, right? So now, boom, boom, boom. What's another perk? Right? What's another perk? Perk number 4 now, right? Perk number 4, benefit number 4 is the flexibility. Flexibility. What do I mean by that, right? In your high school classes, when you take an AP course, you're taking it at period 1, period 3, period 7, block 3, 4x4 spring semester, whatever it is, right? You're kind of locked into when the class is being offered, is all, right? So that's the biggest thing here. However, right, when you look into dual enrollment, if you look into dual enrollment courses, right, that there could be classes with set times, days and times, right, where you have schedule, but there are also classes that are that are online. Ooh, and a synchronous. Is that right? No, I'm completely misspelled that. And asynchronous. What does that mean? That means self-paced, right? Self-paced. You're doing it at your own schedule. As long as you can complete the work by the time, that's going to be the goal. Okay, so that's gonna be the big one. They offer online and self-paced class, which means, right, students, high school students are busy, right? We get that, right? That these online and async classes, what would match perfectly, all right, around their busy schedule, right? That's the other fun perk, right? And here is the best. I saved the best for last, right? So number five now, number five, right? The best perk is you get to pick your teachers, right? So parents with kids currently right now in the AP classes, right? Does your question is, does your child currently have a very hard, very hard teacher, AP teacher right now? Someone that is scary, someone that someone avoids, like, hey, I don't want to take that class. Let me take the regular class because that AP class is really hard. Let's not do that one because that one's really, really hard. A lot of the AP US history, A push is usually a common class that's scary for a lot of students as well, right? There you go. A few yeses, a few yeses. People, our parents are in agreement that some of the teachers are very, very hard, but in high school, you have no choice, right? Because at schools, right, one class, one teacher, right? So schools don't have the budget for like so many teachers. One AP class equals one teacher. So that's the teacher that teaches that class. Keep in mind, it's not the class that's hard. It's the teacher. It's the teacher that makes the experience of the class itself. So if you have a hard teacher, you're gonna have a hard time in the class. If you have an easy teacher, you're probably gonna have an easy time in the class as well too. So that's kind of the big, kind of takeaway here. In college, right? However, right, in college, if you take a college class, right, there's one class with 5 to 6 professors, right, to pick from, right, is the thing. So you don't have to get stuck with only one. You have multiple professors, right? And what I would do, the strategy, right, find the easiest professor. That's it. You find the easiest professor, you're able to ensure that your chances of doing really well gets higher and goes up, right? That's the strategy here. Now, how do we put together? Is anyone interested in how do I tactically do this step by step? Drop a yes in the chat if you guys are ready to see this in action, step by step, how I would actually do this step by step. Go ahead and drop a yes in the chat. If you're here in Zoom, drop a yes. If you're on Facebook, drop a yes. If you're watching it from YouTube in the future, or Instagram, or TikTok, or all the socials, go ahead and drop a yes in the chat if you guys are ready to see the tactical, right? Tactical step by step, step by step. Right. This is what I would do. This is what I recommend you do. I follow this to the T. If you want to bookmark this video, you bookmark this video and you follow the step by step throughout the way. A lot of yeses, right? A lot of yeses here on the Zooms. Not a lot on Facebook. People on Facebook doesn't want to know. I can turn them off. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm not gonna turn it off. Yeah, right. But then let's go ahead and do step by step. So keep in mind there are seasons, right? College classes, right? This is like step zero. Step zero is understand that colleges have 3 cycles, right? Typically, right? They have fall semester, spring semester, summer semester. Some of your schools, by the way, some of you guys in the Bay Area and in California, some of your schools are in quarters. So there's a fall, winter, spring, and summer. So there's more, right? But for a lot of schools, it's 3 cycles: fall, spring, summer, and which each cycle, right, there's a different application deadline. So for example, the reason why I said, hey, if you're watching this training now, good timing, because for summer classes, right, registration typically opens in April. So if you guys are watching this live, right, you got a head start. You can get to start to prep a little bit to make this happen, right? If you guys are doing fall classes, typically opens in May or June, depending on your school. Every school is a little different. Keep that in mind. So every school would have different timetables. Just look at the registration for the school. You'll be able to figure it out. Right. So that's step number 1. Step 0, I mean. Step number 1. First thing I want to do is I'm assuming if you got this far and you're staying with me still, the idea is, yes, we are going to do dual enrollment. Now, what do I take, right? What classes should I look at, right? So step number one, right? If I was you, again, right now, if you're watching this, you're probably in high school, which means if you're in high school, right? You're high school, your child has no idea what life looks like. Meaning, right? Meaning they have no clue what they're gonna major in either, right? Because again, even you think they know, right? Statistically, right? 80% of students will switch majors at least one time, right? There on our Zoom, how many people you have in Zoom right now? We have 122 people on Zoom right now, which means almost 100 of you, of your kids going into college, they're gonna switch their majors at least one time. I know that's a fact. I switched 5 times. So I definitely know I am one of the 80% that is statistically gonna switch. So if we know they're gonna switch, why are we spending so much time trying to freak out, trying to figure this out for them and freaking out about like, oh my God, should I do this? Should I do that? This and that, right? So realistically, what do we know? We know that college is 4 years, right? There's year one, year two, year three, year four, and then graduation, right? That's how college works. Does anyone know when you really start taking your major classes? When does your major classes kick in, right? Major classes typically kick in year three. Whoa, Coach Tony. If if I start my major year three, what about year one, year two? Year one, year two, your general education classes, no matter what major you are. Again, there are a few exceptions, of course, right? And for a few schools, but for the majority, 90, I think 90% of you guys, right? Your child is going to be taking their general education again. First year in college and second year in college. That is why they're doing the AP exams. Going back real fast. Why you've been doing so well in the AP exams? Because you're trying to test out of these general education courses. You guys see where it's clicking together? That's why we're trying to pass the AP exams, is to get exempt from these various courses. But going back, right? So your first 2 years, you're going to be doing your general education courses. So statistically, even if your child switches their major, wouldn't you agree if I stay with the general ed classes, there's a good chance it won't matter. It would not matter what major they end up doing because they're going to end up doing that anyways, right? So with that being said, what I would recommend, every state is a little different, right? So this is speaking from California because I know we have a lot of California families. Every state has their own name of this. But in California, you want to look up, it's called the egelloC list, right? It's the Intersegmental General Education Transfer Curriculum. It's called egelloC. Fun spoilers for you guys. Spoilers, right? Whoever likes spoilers as well too. This is getting rebranded, right? Oops. This is getting rebranded. You're going to hear from hopefully me first. If not, then it's your review, right? They are renaming egelloC officially this fall 2025. Starting fall 2025 in a few months, right? egelloC will become the CalGETC, the California General Education Transfer Curriculum. So that's kind of what is going to be called the CalGETC. So you'll start seeing us kind of start changing our languages, a lot of our documents to reflect that change. Basically, the before egelloC had a few different pathways, one to UCs, one to Cal States, one to AA degree, one to private schools. With the CalGETC, it's one for everything put together. So they added a few new requirements. They took away a few requirements, like language is gone, but they added ethnic studies. They added communication. So it's one of those, it's a solidified general list. We'll share more if anyone is interested. We can do a part 2 of this training. That's like a do enrollment 102 training that we can dive more into the new CalGETC as well too. Again, for a lot of our coaching families, nothing changes. So everything we told you is still good to go. But for anyone who's new, this is the first time you're hearing this, keep in mind if you're starting dual enrollment in the fall, when you look for it, egelloC will start to get phased out and CalGETC will start to get phased in as the replacement term for California. Other states, you have your own kind of term for it. I know we have a student from Illinois, it's called the IAS. We have families from Washington, theirs is called Running Start. So every school, every state, I mean, has their own language of what they call this type of classes. But these classes are transferable general education courses to all their state schools and a lot of private schools. So by taking classes here, you're going to be good, right? So for the purpose of today's call, I'm going to stick to California. If you're from another state, do exactly what I'm saying, but just match it on what your school is calling it. Is all. So it's the same steps for everyone. We have coaching families from all the different states as well, and we run them all through the same playbook of this as well too. Okay, so that's that. So first off, we know what classes to take, right? So I couldn't call it 1A, right? In terms of 1B, what specific classes do you want to look? So I want to search up egelloC approved courses, right? Courses from my local community college, right? So really quick in the chat, if anyone here is in California, can you let me know what community college you are at? And we'll do it live. We'll do it live on this call with you guys. You guys can see what it is. So really quick, whoever wants to drop in a community college in California, we'll go ahead and do one example live. All right, first one I see, College of San Mateo, right? So the example for today, College of San Mateo, right? So what we're gonna do, again, you can plug in your school, whatever school you want, right? And it's the same thing. So what we're gonna do first is that and this is California, keep in mind, right? So I'm gonna look up on Google, I'm gonna look up College of San Mateo, egelloC, right? egelloC, right? So I'm gonna do this live in front of everyone. Hopefully nothing crazy happens. I'm gonna Google it, and once I Google it, right, you'll see it's usually the first or second search options, right? So in here, first one looks right. Maybe not. I think so. Here we go. If you click on it, you can poke around. Here we go. The egelloC form. There you go. It should look like this, right? So all the schools look like this. It's a worksheet with areas 1 through 6 or 7, right? Some schools have 7, some schools have 6. Same thing, right? Number 7 is ethnic studies, if I'm correct. So this school, number 7, ethnic studies. They added that requirement. That's the egelloC. That's how they close. By the way, they phased in and out the egelloC and the egelloC. That's kind of what the phasing in and out is going to be. So this is the categories. There's 6/7 categories. 1, English; 2, math; 3, arts and humanities; 4, social behavior science; 5, physical biological sciences; 6, language other than English; 7, ethnic studies. There's a little preview for you guys. Area 6 is going away. There's no more language requirement, right? Area 7 will be required for all areas. By the way, this school has 7. If you're in the Bay Area, San Francisco, all of them already have 7. If you're from like LA, OC, San Diego, there's no 7 yet. So you guys are probably still number 6, right? But they'll be adding ethnic studies into your to your list itself. So once you have this, where do I start? Right? Where do I start? So what I recommend for all students, regardless of your major. If you told me, Coach Tony, my child wants to be an art major, my child wants to be a bio major, pre-med, my child wants to be an engineer, want to be computer science, data science, physics, basket weaving, I will say you should start in area 3 and area 4. Right? Area 3 is going to be your arts and humanities. Your area 4 is going to be your social behavior science. Now, why? Right? Why would Coach Tony recommend this? Because number 1, it's probably easier than the other classes, right? We want to ensure that our students get, it's still a college class, right? It is easier. We like, because the little sport is a little easier, but it's still a college class. We want our students to do well, right? On their first college class, we want them to do well is the biggest thing. Okay, that's why I was starting, and everyone needs it too, right? Why do we want to do well, right? Because for 2 reasons, right? Number 2, confidence. Not just one reason, confidence in 2 people though. Number 1, I want your child to be confident that they can do well in a college classroom. At the end, right? They're sitting in a college class either virtually or in person with people like 4 years, 4, 5, 6 years older than them, right? So again, it's a little intimidating. So I want the student to be confident, like, hey, I did well. Number 2, right? Your high school counselor to feel comfortable that you're okay. Keeping in mind that your counselor might be very anti-dual enrollment, right? Just a heads up there. The reason why is that the more you are taking classes outside of the high school, the less control they have of you. Because again, think of it. If you took an AP class and something went wrong, they can jump in and save you and help you. But if you didn't do well in a college class, they will never know. They can't jump in and help you. And that's the fear, right? So what we want to do is we want to tell the counselor, yo, I'm good. How do I know I'm good? I took this college class, I got an A. I took the second class, I got an A. I took this third class, I got an A. You want to show, once you show that, you have a track record, right? Just like our families. Look at that. Hey, families, and for those of you who've been following us online, it's been an amazing journey. We've been setting, we have another perfect streak so far, right? We're still waiting on, I think, UCLA and a few more UCs, but every year we say our kids get in, and every year our kids are getting in, right? So it's all these schools and IVs and stuff. So again, it's like the confidence, the more and more we do it, the more confidence you guys get in this. Same thing with the counselor. The more A's you get in these college classes, the more confident the colleges will feel about your child going off and taking more and more college classes, which is kind of eventually the goal for us, right? So that's that. Area 3, Area 4. Again, go back to tactics real fast. Coach Tony, what classes do I take? Right? Going back here, right? Area 3, Area 4. Area 3 is Arts and Humanities. Area 4 is Social Behavioral Sciences. I do not care what class you take. You pick whatever class that I call whatever class floats your boat, right? Whatever one sounds cool, sounds nice to you, right? Just for our families, a lot of them really like, so favorites, right? I'll say favorites. Favorites from area 3 are typically art, music, and theater. Classes are usually the favorites here. Area 4 is anthropology, psychology, and sociology. Those are the favorites. But again, there's a lot more, right? You can see a lot. There's like architecture, dance, this is design. I don't know. This is ethnic studies, film, right? So there's a lot of other classes here. So area 4, there's business, communications, econ, history, kinesthetics, right? So there's a lot of classes you can select and pick whatever one your child likes to do, right? So that is the step 1, right? So I'd pick a few just to kind of match out. And you see colleges have different classes. So here's like Art 101, 102, 103. Try to stick with the smaller numbers, right? Just again, don't be a hero. I tell students all the time, do enrollment, don't be a hero. Just pick the easiest class you can, Art 101, and you're good to go, right? So now that we picked the class, or we picked a few classes, right? We picked a few classes as well too. Let's go ahead and move on to step number, what number are we on now? Step number 2, right? Step number 2 is we want to look up the available classes. Look up the available classes, right? Is what we want to do specifically, okay? So how do we look up the available classes? So we need to look up the schedule. Again, summer, I don't think it's out yet, but College of San Mateo class schedule, right? So you look up the college and you look it up, right? So here, term, oh, they have summer out. Look, there you go. College of San Mateo, your classes are out, right? There you go. So even earlier than so college class schedule is one you want to look up. Okay. So I did that. I found the classes. Again, the classes are available for College of San Mateo. So if you guys are there, feel free to follow along, right? So I'm gonna look up the class. Let's say I saw Art 101, I think, right? Art 101. Let's look that up. Subject is gonna be art. Oops, can't spell. Arts. Right, so I think it's tiny and small. Let's make it a little bigger for everyone's eyeballs. There we go. Right, arts 101. Right, and then look at that. There are 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 classes that are Art 101 for this upcoming summer. Right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look for a few things. I'm gonna look for the class type. Right, is it online or in person? Right, is it gonna be, and if it's online, right? If online, is it async or not? Is it like you have to show up for a Zoom at a certain time or do it on your own? Then I want to check the class type. I want to look at the time. Actually, I actually find that when, right, duration of the class, because some summer classes are different timing. Last one I'm going to do is the professor, right? So let's talk about all 3 of these. First one, online or not. Looking at our schedule here, all of these, all 5 classes are online. Look at that. All 5 classes online. So boom, check off first mark, right? Number 2, you look at the times, right? And you can see if these had a time, it would say online Wednesdays, 6 p.m. or online Friday, 8 a.m. There's no time. There's nothing here, right? Let me show you guys what the difference will look like. Let's talk about math real fast, because usually math, you can see the in-personness of it, right? So see, look at that. This one is an in-person class on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays at 8:10 a.m. right? So that's kind of what the in-person and look face-to-face course, right? Is like this one. Look, partially, fully or partially synchronous, meaning there is some element of online. You can see the online, but this one is at a certain time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays at 10:40 a.m. online, right? So again, that's the thing. So, but going back, we're not doing that. We are looking for art, right? Art 101. Art 101, right? And so these are online, all asynchronous. Look at that. How good are we, right? So I have the option to pick 5 classes right now. And then the next step, I look at the teachers. Look, there are 4. There's Yuri, there's Denise, there's Cheyenne, Cheyenne again, same teacher, right? And then Ashley. So there's 4 teachers that I can pick from. So now what I want to do is I want to look up the easiest professor. How do we do that? RateMyProfessors.com. Little spoilers for families with kids in college now. Is that that each school usually has their own system, right? Of their this kind of software, this kind of like platform. But I'm gonna go RateMyProfessors.com. And then once you go here, you type in your school, right? This is the College of San Mateo, right? College San Mateo. And then after that, ask the professor's name. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see this as well too, the AirPods, right? So the first professor is Yuri Chang. I want to look up, hope I can't copy. There you go. Yuri Chang. And then, oh, Yuri pop up. Oh, no, pop up. I'm going to search up, and it looks like they couldn't find her. So let me try it one more time. Yuri Chang. There we go. Art history, right? So history. But notice something. This is at Skyline College, right? So the reason why it didn't pop up right away as before is this teacher doesn't teach only at this teacher did not teach already at College of San Mateo. They're from Skyline. So this is a little understand this part. Skyline, if you know the Bay Area, it's really close by, right? Skyline's I think in Oakland, right? It's close by-ish to San Mateo. That a lot of professors, by the way, they don't make a lot of money being a professor. They teach at multiple schools, but you look for the same region, similar classes. So she teaches art history there, which is again pretty good sign that this is the same teacher. So if I click on it, you can see their reviews, right? Again, it might not be the exact classes, but it's probably the same teacher is all, right? So this person got a 2-star, 3-star, 5-star. That's kind of hard. That's kind of hard to tell. Difficulty out of 5, they got a 4.3. Oof, that's rough. That is hard, right? We'll take again. Only 30% will take again. So far, this lady doesn't sound, this person, man, woman, right? Doesn't sound like the best so far, right? Here, does not give feedback, heavy, love hit, you'll do runner class, right? You can see responsive lectures, informative, too much material. So far, doesn't sound like an easy class. Again, I'm looking for easy, right? So no, not this person. Next one, let's look at Denise, right? Let's look at Denise Erickson. So I'm gonna do a quick search and let me see if I can take out the S, see if that pops anything else. Denise, no, look at the search again. Denise Tomer, Denise, nothing, right? So what does it mean when there's nothing? Nothing means this is the first time they're teaching here. And then there's no teachers as near here as well too with their similar name, which means they either like married, had a new last name or something. For me, I don't like to gamble, so I wouldn't bet. But again, if you want to gamble, that's a new teacher, right? Next one, Cheyenne. Let's look at Cheyenne now. Cheyenne Cortez. Ooh, look at that. Art history, College of San Mateo. So that her name pops up. I'm assuming her, right? Her name pops up right away. I'm gonna click on her, right? Ooh, look at that. This person had 25-star reviews, 1-1, 1-2. 91% would take again. Difficulty out of 5, 2.6. Overall rating, 4.7. Ooh, that sounds really good so far. Reading the reviews, right? You see that they teach different classes. Some professors will teach a little differently per class. So I want to look for 101. So scroll down. 101. Lovely professor. Participate. Memorize a few things. Test is straightforward, always offers extra credit. Person got an A. Ooh, that sounds not so bad. Next one, 101. Passionate about her job, inspires me, blah, blah, blah. Personal favorite, study a lot. So there is some work, right? Some work to do here. This one, bad reviews too. Ego is out of control. Week 2, gotta watch, blah, blah, blah. Grades insane. Oh, a little tough, right? And you look here, adore her class, isn't that? We'll take again. So again, people who usually have bad grades tend to say bad things anyway. So take their reviews with a grain of salt, but this teacher's not so bad, right? And to finish up the whole thing, let's look at Ashley, Ashley Gardini, and I have nothing looking at Ashley. So Ashley teaches architecture, right? Architecture as well too at Diablo Valley. So I think is architecture close enough to art? Perhaps it is a little close to art that, and Diablo Valley is close by also. So it might be the same teacher, right? So if I click here, I can see, wow, I put actually a lot of reviews for them as well too, right? A lot of 45 stars, 5 stuff, 1 point, so even easier. More people take in 4.9 as well too. So you can see here, one of the best, 3 quizzes, easy, understand, easy A. I like that word, easy A, blah, 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 right? Hey, look at that. I took intro to art with this teacher. That means the teacher has taught intro to art before. Very organized, file paper, do the work, do well, right? Great class, blah, blah, blah. Take fall, so all stuff is all. And this will teach at Berkeley C. So she's been teaching around the area. So this actually might be the same Ashley Gardini, which means, right? Again, I'm sure you can go through poker email, try to filter and try to find, is it the same person that don't have a twin? But so far, what we have learned, what have we learned so far? We've learned that out of these 4 teachers, Yuri's brand new, right? Yeah, Yuri's brand new. We have no clue about Yuri. I forgot for this, but these two we don't like them, right? So far, but these two are better. So if I was a student trying to take class, I want to take Art 101, I will see if I can get to one of these 2 classes, Ashley's or Cheyenne's. They're all online, so it doesn't matter which one I do. So I'll try to pick one of these classes here. I would actually do Ashley's before I do Cheyenne's classes, right? So what you want to do, you want to look here. It's called the CRN. CRN is the class code. The class code is going to be this 5656380, right? And then so then step number 3, right? Get it approved. Get it approved, right? So you, as a high school student, you need to get your counselor or your principal to sign off on your dual enrollments, right? So what you need them to do, and again, for me, make their life easy, right? Pro tip, right? Make their life easy. Give them everything they need, aka give them the class name, give them the class code. Again, for us, it was like that 58 number example, right? Example, this number for them, and right, and also try to get them class code and also why you're doing this class. Right, again, explain to the counselor why you're doing this so they understand why you're doing it as well too, right? And then they're like, okay, sign off on it, right? And then I would have backups because one of the class gets full, so I'd have a backup of this. This is choice 1. This is choice 2, right? Choice 1, then this one, then this one, then look at other classes. Again, this is not it. Don't just stop here. I would look because again, at the same time, I tell students don't be a hero. Or my pro tip here. Pro tip number 2. Cannot talk to that. So tip number 2, don't be a hero, right? Find the easiest classes you can, right? Is the thing here. Again, keep in mind, this is not a major class. This is a class we just got to take anyways to make sure we do well in this process, right? And then once you take it, you're good to go. All right. So really quick, before I dive into, that's pretty much it for the training, by the way. Is it okay if I give you guys some common things your counselors will tell you no for? Right? Let me know. Say yes to make me feel good. But then there's things that you'll probably do this and you're like, oh, Coach Tony, I'm sold. Parents, I am sold. Let's do this. And your counselor will tell you no. So it's okay if I give you, I think I've pushed dual enrollment harder than pretty much anybody else I know on this planet so far. Fun fact, I haven't opened, I don't know if you saw my bio, but I actually opened my own high school. That school, everyone is dual enrolled. If you check out that school, if you're in the area, we let every student take classes at the local community college as much as they want because that's the philosophy. So I'm really, really big on the dual enrollment philosophy. So now, last kind of secret, this is like almost like a 102. Actually, it calls the advanced training. The advanced training, the 201 training, right? This is basically what if your counselor says no? Right? As well. Okay. Really quick, I actually look at time. I don't have a lot of time left. So I can do either this training on what if your counselor says no, or I can do Q&A because we actually have a lot of questions today. So do you guys prefer the advanced training or the Q&A? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat which one you guys prefer, the Q&A or this specific training right here. We'll probably do both eventually, right? We'll probably do both eventually. But for right now, just for the sake of this call, just for the sake of time, because I do have to bounce off in a few minutes because our team is going to do it, have a training here as well. So let me know, you guys want the advanced training or do you guys want the Q&A? Advanced training, Q&A. Advanced training, Q&A. All right. We got both. We got both. That's well too, right? Let's do. Let me see which one's more. All right, we got like a slightly more advanced. So here's what I'll do for those of you who did ask a question. I'm still gonna answer it. So if you guys want to go ahead and text me your question, by the way, just text word here. Just take for Coach Tony. Just say for Coach Tony, for Coach Tony, for Coach Tony, right? And then ask your question. Right, and then our team will go ahead and we'll send it over to me, and I'll go ahead and answer it for you. Is all either way, I'll still answer it live for everyone eventually in like a future 201, like a 102 training for dual enrollment. But let's do some advanced because this is the thing for those of you guys who are going to start dual enrollments in the summertime. This is something that will/may come up, right? Your counselor's gonna say no, right? So let's talk about it. There's a few no's, right? There's a few no's out there, right? So the first no is they say which is the most common one, right? Is like no because our school offers that class, right? Hey, you can't take Art 101 because our school offers art, right? You can't take that because our school offers class, right? Whatever the class is, right? And then so for you, you say, sounds good. How about class 2, right? Keep in mind, when it comes to egelloC, you don't have to take just art. You can take architecture. Not many schools offer architecture. There's dance. Not many schools offer dance. Ethnic studies. Not many schools offer ethnic studies. Film. Some schools don't offer film. See, you're able to still pull from a lot of different classes that your school doesn't offer is number one. So you tell them cool, and you just find a different class. Very, very simple is number one, right? However, here's the secret. However, or secret number one, right? If your school does allow this, right? Double dip this nonstop, right? Meaning if your school does allow you to take a college class as a high school, keep in mind most schools don't. Again, my school is a little special. We do, right? But then not many schools are like that. But in terms of this, many schools do not. So because many schools do not, actually, when they do not, say if they do, you want to take advantage of that, right? Example, right? U.S. history. A lot of you guys don't like U.S. history. This is a history class under Area 4. It is. It's one of those history classes. I don't know what number, but for sure, it's one of these histories. One of these history numbers is U.S. history. The exact word for word U.S. history is out there too, right? If you guys don't want to take political science, senior year, right? This is a poli-sci class, poli-sci, like 100, 101, like 100, 101 kind of level. So if you take, like, for example, in theory, if your school allowed this, right? Poli-sci 100 at this school, right? Poli-sci 100 is the exact requirement for political science at the high school. You can do that. Same thing with economics, 100, 102, one of these numbers, right? Economics can be done at the college, economics, whatever the number is here as well too, right? So a fun little thing, if your school does allow you to double dip, you can totally fulfill a lot of high school requirements with this done, right? So that's number one. So if your school doesn't allow it, it's okay, find a different one. What if, I saw this question in the chat as well too, right? What happens with the GPA, right? Does it get calculated? Does it get added as well? Because they'll tell you, okay, they won't say what happens. They'll tell you they'll say, but your college class doesn't count towards your GPA. What do we say here, friends? Right? If your count says if we don't count towards your GPA, what do we say? We say, sounds good. Can you help me? Can you help sign me up? Sign me up for this class, because did I mention this earlier? I did, right? In terms of stuff, when I said our goal of college, right, academics, did I say GPA? No, I said rigor is important. Oops, rigor is important. And where is it? Here you go. Rigor is important and grade trends are important. Here's a little fun fact for everyone. GPA is not that important. You guys focus too much on GPAs, right? ignore GPAs. A GPA is a made-up number. Makes you feel good and makes you feel bad. That's it, right? From a reader's point of view, I really look at your grade trends and your rigor. And that's it. That's all. So again, college class, you get a grade. Rigor, you take a college class. Boom, hits both of those, two of them with one stone, right? So now, but you're like, but Coach Tony, how do I show the colleges though? How do I show the colleges this if this is the way? Because, right, keep in mind, when you apply as a senior, and for the juniors here, I asked earlier, who's a junior? When you're a junior, when you're applying to college, right? You do not submit your transcripts at the point of applications. You don't do that because if they're going to ask you, because if they ask you to do this, they want the official transcripts, right? This costs money. Colleges know, and it's not $4, it's like more like $2 signs, right? So they know that they don't want to make you pay for every single school you're applying to. So with college apps, right? You are self-reporting every 1P reporting every class and grade you got, right? So with your college app, so guess what I'm doing? The high school won't accept it, which is fine. I don't need them to accept my classes, right? For the college apps, I'm going to show them my high school, right? I'm going to show them my high school grades. I'm going to show them my college that I dual enrolled in, and I want to show you my college grades. The colleges will be the ones to look at all this, and they'll be the ones to help determine my future, not the high school. So when it comes to, hey, we'll count your GPA, I'm like, that's cool. I'm good. I don't need it to count towards my GPA. I want to show the rigor of that is the key. Okay, so that's a fun thing. Here's a bonus tip for you guys, right? So for those of you, bonus tip, right? Bonus tip, right? So again, how does this all work together, right? How does this all kind of work together for you guys, right? Here's the final bonus tip for you guys. After this, I do have to head out, right? So the bonus tip here is, right? So the strategy for us is the strategy is to max out your rigor relative to the school you're aiming for. Meaning, if you're aiming for a top school, an Ivy, a UCLA, a Stanford, one of these top schools, you want to match the top student in your school. If you're not aiming for a top school, you don't have to do that, right? But if you are aiming for a top school, that's kind of what you want to match. So the top kid, if the top student is taking 4 APs, guess what we're taking, right? Guess what we're taking? We're also taking 4 APs to match. But here's the buts, right? But that's a lot of work. 4 APs is a lot of work. How do we lessen the work? Again, back to the strategy again, right? How do we minimize the time? How do we minimize the time? If instead of 4 APs, what you could do, what if you took 2 APs, right? 2 APs plus 1 dual enrollment course in the fall, 1 dual enrollment course in the spring, right? How many credits does a dual enrollment in the fall get you? 1 year. How much does the 1 dual enrollment in the spring get you? 1 year. So now you still have 4 years of AP equivalence courses. So this is how you're able to take what you have and do what the top kids are doing with less time so that, right, you can spend more time on the other areas that matter way more in the admissions process, which is going to be the activities and the application itself. Okay. That's a wrap for this training. Hope you guys enjoy. I went way over time, went double the limit here. So if you guys are interested in the notes, the recording, go ahead and text our team 949-775-0865. If you're interested in the replay, I speak really fast. You probably want to watch it in like half speed. Text the word replay. Again, please give us like 48 hours for our team to kind of render this, get this looking pretty for you guys. If you're interested, if you're one of our new friends, right, and you haven't claimed your free coaching call, again, you don't buy anything, you can't even buy anything if you wanted to. We just want to point you guys in the right direction. This is better sooner rather than later, because then later, what if you made too many mistakes, right? Make this harder for you guys. So us, we can set you guys up. That's it. You don't buy anything on this call. 2026 families, text the word 2026. in to us. Again, we'll put you on standby. There's a fun gift that I'm putting together with our team. It should be sent out by Wednesday, Thursday this week. So look at your phone for that. Wednesday, Thursday. And for questions I could not get to, just text it to me, and our team will send it over to me, and then I'll answer it. Probably not today. I have a few more calls back to back, but probably by tomorrow I'll respond to all these here. And all the questions though, I still saved it. I'll go ahead and do it in a follow-up 102 training there. Okay. Hope that was helpful for you guys. Hope that was useful. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and let us know. If not, that is it for me today. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you guys next time.